What's up, everybody? I'm here with another book review. This time I want to talk about a book in the original Goosebumps series. This is Ghost Camp. I do have two editions of this book. I have this one from 2003, I think, and I also have this copy that I had since I was a kid, so pretty cool. And while I'm at it, I don't have any other merchandise or anything like that for Ghost Camp, but I do have this retro tin that I noticed that I've actually read and reviewed all of the books on here. So you have The Werewolf Fever Swamp, Stay Out of the Basement, The Cuckoo Clock of Doom, Piano Lessons Can Be Murder, The Haunted School, and that's it. The story itself for Ghost Camp follows Harry and Alex. They are going to Camp Spirit Moon for the summer, and or the rest of the summer. Their parents signed them up kind of late, and they are on this bus, and Alex is getting car sick. And Harry suggests, and so he doesn't throw up, to start singing. And Alex has a terrific singing voice apparently, so he begins to sing, and he starts feeling better. They get off the bus, and they don't see the camp right away. And the bus driver tells them to go through this path that's in the woods, and it will take them straight to camp. And he's like, you can't miss it. So they go through, and they don't see anybody at first. This guy pops up, and he says that his name is Chris, and he was out in the woods, like getting firewood. And at first, he tells the kids that everybody left this camp. There's nobody there anymore. So, the kids, of course, think this is kind of crazy. Like, why did they sign us up for camp? It's not even there. But it turns out this is just a joke, it's just a little prank. And after this other guy comes up, and his name is Uncle Marv. And he introduces himself, and he tells them, him and this other guy tells them about the camp salute. There's going to be a campfire later on, and it's going to be like a welcoming campfire. There's going to be like ghost stories and all this cool stuff. So he shows them this little camp greeting thing that they got, and it's really tacky. It's like they say "Yo spirits," and they like hold their nose or something, like salute their nose. It's really weird. And yeah, so they go to the cabin, and they introduce their friends there, or the people there, and Harry notices there is this like blue puddle stuff, like all over the floor. And so yeah, so they end up going to the campfire, and there's like songs and stuff. So they're sitting around the campfire, and um, they start singing or whatever. And this guy named Elvis, who quickly makes friends with Alex, he starts singing, and he cannot sing like good at all. So Harry is kind of cringing at him, so he kind of backs up away, and he backs up, and he runs into this girl named Lucy, who asks to save him. And Alex, of course, or Harry, of course, is like, save you from what? And then uh, Uncle Marv tells them to, get away from the woods, come back and join the campfire. And they do. They get back, and Uncle Marv tells them two ghost stories. Um, the first ghost story is about these campers going into the woods, and they get deeper and deeper into the woods, and they're trying to find something or do something, and they keep hearing like a heartbeat, and it keeps beating and beating, and then all of a sudden they're like on top of this monster, and this thing pops up, and it goes to like eat the campers. The second one is about this like fog that rolls in, and there's these kids at a campfire, and this fog rolls in, and it instantly like ends all of the campers here. And during this story, Harry notices that there is this actual camp like fog rolling up, and so they look around, and all of the kids are gone. And I forgot to mention too, there is a scene before all of this where they're sitting around the campfire, and Lucy, the girl who Harry befriends, sort of, they're like cooking hot dogs, and his hot dog falls into a fire. She reaches into the fire and picks it up. And I do remember the scene as a kid, and I remembered like not being super impressed with it, because I felt like maybe, and this is just kid me thinking, you could just reach into a fire and like do it really fast, it doesn't hurt you. But I forgot that this book, when she does this, the fire actually stays on her hands, and then just like she is very slow to retaliate like what's going on. So after this, more weird stuff happens. They end up going and having this thing where they put tents together, and they begin putting tents together, and this guy ends up stabbing tent, whatever you call it, like a pole through his foot, and he thinks, Harry thinks that, like, how are you like sticking that through your foot? And he's like, oh, it just like missed my toes or something, or just hit my toes. It didn't hurt that much. They're at this, they're eating, and this other guy takes a fork and like jams it in his neck, and he says it's like a trick or whatever. They go back to camp to go to sleep, and Harry notices that everybody's like eyes are glowing. He notices more of the blue puddles on the floor. Um, and he turns the lights back on, and he also sees this guy like floating above his bed. Bunch of weird stuff happens. The one of the biggest highlights of this was when they go to play soccer. They have this like nighttime soccer field game, complete with fog and all this cool stuff. And they go to play soccer, and this girl gets hit in the head with a soccer ball. And I remember reading this scene, and I was like, I remember something bad happening here. And the girl's head falls off. And she says that he gets up on the field, and the girl is fine. And she says it was just like the soccer ball or whatever, and people are like picking on him because he thinks this girl's head falls off. And yeah, so he gets ready to leave, and Alex stops him, and he's like, I saw this girl's head fall off. Like, you're not wrong. And this basically leads to the climax of this book. And the climax of this book is really where this book is at, because it's insane. There is a scene that has something to do with one of the ghost stories that was really cool. And I do remember it being a part of this book, like from looking at other people's reviews and stuff. And I was a little disappointed on what the reveal, like what actually happened, but I was also pretty impressed with it. So really cool there. And the actual like motives for what's going on here, was slightly disappointing, but it's still very, very good. Ghost Camp is probably like my favorite camp story so far in the original series. And I actually struggled on what I'd rate it because I only have like two mild complaints, and that was the two things I just mentioned. The story thing tying in for what the reveal is, and what the motives for these things are. Because there's a possession aspect of this book that is, I don't think is explored quite enough. Like, I think it should have went kind of further, because we do get like a twist ending, and I'm not going to say much more about that, but I felt like it wasn't super threatening, but it should be, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't. But yeah, Ghost Camp, the two little negatives that I had isn't enough to warrant this anything below a 5 out of 5 stars for me. Ghost Camp was easily one of my favorites rereads, because yeah, very good, very atmospheric. The camp setting was really great, really perfect. I loved all of the weird things that the campers go through, and the pacing is done really well too, because it's not super fast paced and it's not super slow. It's just enough to keep you just going, like finding out what's going on. And you don't really know. You kind of think, oh, is this all like just, fake outs, or what's going on? But yeah, Ghost Camp, I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Please let me know in the comments below, what did you think about Ghost Camp? Is it one of your favorite books in the original series? It is for me. It's easily in my top, I don't know, 5 or so. And again, I did struggle on the rating for this thing, because the two little negatives, I thought about giving it a 4 out of 5 stars, but I felt like it was better than a lot of 4 out of 5 stars that I've given these books. So yeah, 5 out of 5 stars for me, guys. Please let me know in the comments below, what did you think about Ghost Camp? Is it one of your favorites? Thank you. Bye-bye.